this is the before kitchen. When we viewed the house, we liked the space and kind of the layout as well, actually. But it wasn't... Basically, it's a kitchen that's been installed for a while and it's been well used, as a kitchen should, and it was just looking very tired and a little bit worn out, really. This was the one room that we knew would be a bigger expense because it's a big room and we really prioritise the kitchen. We hang out in there all the time. John loves cooking. So, yeah, we knew that it would be a bigger expense and not something that we are skilled enough to do. So before we actually got the keys to the house, we'd already done our research and had an appointment booked with Magnet. Yay! So these are the plans that we came up with, the exact same layout, but dark green on the island. So this is our makeshift kitchen. We've had to take everything out of the actual kitchen and now live in here most of the time. Hello, Monty! The room looks massive and disgusting. We found some good things. So over here, where there's going to be a huge pantry larder thing, we already have power, so that was hidden behind, and they must have had wall lights at some point, so that's great because we won't use that for the larder, but the power is handy. Then over here, same thing, and we're having the wine fridge there, so that's perfect. The electrician doesn't need to do that. And then that's lighting again. So we're going to have some lighting in the shelves that we have above the wine fridge. What else? Obviously that wall is minging. There's power here for the island, which is great. This bit has changed our plan. So we thought this was a proper mantle. There was like cupboards there, but actually that is all false. You can see underneath it. So let's have a look. Here, it's just false. So the kitchen design we have was to continue with this mantle, have cupboards under there like it was before, and then in this gap here, have a breakfasting station kind of set back on the worktop to be able to open that and have your coffee machine, kettle and all that in. However, now we know all of that is false, I'm thinking knock that out up until that point there, which is a beam, a structural beam we think, and actually use that gap. So obviously keep the mantle but keep it symmetrical, so that gap is mirrored here, and then you've got a gap there which I think is 600 mils, which is exactly the same as the breakfasting station cupboard to be set back in the recess, which then means you've got all of this gap clear here and you'd have all that wall clear. So I think we're going to do that if the kitchen fitter can do it, if he's going to have some lunch and think about it, but I'm hoping so. But yeah, we're getting there slowly. Yeah? Yeah, whatever, yeah.
Put these back, yeah?
Scoot man. That was fast, mate. I like it. That was what?
Yeah.
Dang. You what?
It's the first event to walk that far.
Yeah, wow. Okay, so slight spanner in the works. These are nice problems to have, but I feel ready to combust because there are too many decisions to make and I just feel a bit worn out, to be honest. So obviously before, there was some false thing there, which we've ripped out. And now, I think it looks fantastic. So what we've paid for and what we've ordered does not account for this. And now we've pulled it out. So now I'm really confused about what to do. We've kind of got a few different options. One was, this looks like an ingle nook almost, like a proper farmhouse ingle nook. So we might, again, build the same pillar down there, have the oven a bit, not fully central because it can't be, because you need a run of cupboards that way and you need a corner kind of cupboard, if that makes sense, but more central than what it was. So this would be a lot bigger than what it previously was. But then where does the breakfasting station go, which was there? I just think it looks really good, and I'm thinking we could do kind of like a fascia of oak here. So it looks like a beam, but actually they're only about like kind of that mil depth. So they're only about 40 quid. To have that over there, we would get the manor house engraved in the beam thing. We would have oven, kind of cupboards either side. So basically from this outset here, it would look very symmetrical. Then we've obviously got the sink run here. If we don't have the breakfasting station, we get a lot more worktop space there. So maybe we don't have the breakfasting station there and we go back to what was probably about plan F, which was have the wine fridge here and have the breakfasting station there with like a housed-in microwave within a cupboard so you don't see it, and the coffee machine. And we don't need a kettle because we're going to get a boiling hot water tap. So maybe that's a better idea, and the kitchen fitter thinks that's a better use of space. And then obviously keep this as the larder. But yeah, I know they're nice problems to have, but you know when you've got too many choices that you can't make a decision. Yeah. Also, for everybody asking, the flooring wasn't original. They'd put it kind of in sections around what had worked there as the kitchen. And it was very divisive. I asked on my story a few weeks ago if we loved it or hated it, and it was almost 50-50, but we didn't like it. We thought it was really yellow in person. The grouting was black, and I tried cleaning it, I couldn't get it clean. It just stayed black. And yeah, it was super uneven. There's actually a slope from the beginning of the kitchen to the end of 40 mils, and the flags were so uneven that John's really clumsy and stubbed his toe about 7 times a day. So they're gone. It's getting screeded, so it'll all be even, and we're getting lovely tumbled limestone flags instead, which are pretty big. They're 900 mils long, so nice and farmhousey. Sticking out of the wall. What is that?
Just a tester.
Yeah, no, mate.
I'll just see if there's no way I could make that
Try and pull it with a claw hammer, but is that plasterboard then? What is that?
Yeah.
Do you know how much the kitchen's going to be cheaper by not doing the things we're doing? So we've got to do it. Okay, what's that? I can't see anything, but what if there's just a head? How's that?
Paint?
It's not attached to anything though.
No. Lift up the paper.
Oh god.
Literally just a void, isn't it?
That's mental. We've just made an interesting discovery. So I thought this was a real chimney breast, and that's why we had to do this. Because I am not a big fan of asymmetry. I love evenness in everything that I see. So I thought we had to work with this being that size and this being that size because that was a real chimney breast. Alas, it is not. So we have knocked through this hole, and if you see, imagine if there was just a creepy head in here. It's just hollow. There's nothing in there whatsoever. Over there, oh I don't know if you can see. Bye phone. And so what that means is this is really deep. It's 80 millimeters long, so almost a meter. This is where the dining table goes. And obviously it means that we can just get rid of all of that and have a wall-to-wall run of really tall units, which I absolutely love. So I'm thinking centralise the breakfasting bar, have it much bigger, kind of like 1.5 meters long, with double doors, wine fridge underneath, and then it's about 3.5 meters this wall. So then have 1 meter wide larder unit over there, 1 meter wide larder unit over there, and basically you're in symmetrical heaven, and we get more room, and yeah, I'm bloody excited. Oh yes, it's not actually back to the wall, is it? Okay.
Can you see?
Oh shit, I want to measure it. Looks like it's back to
Can you press there?
Okay. Much better than what it is now, which is 800. And is it the same
It looks like
width
it.
as this?
Yeah.
Same size as that?
Yeah.
So it's not completely hollow. There is an old fireplace that's been breeze blocked up at some point, and an old kind of hearth. Shame there's not any beautiful tiles there. We can't really see whether there's a chimney here because there's a one just adjacent to it anyway, so I'm not sure if there's another one or if that's been blocked up over time as well. And look at these many, many years and different layers of wallpaper. How cool is this? I actually contacted a wallpaper specialist and they said this one is not arsenic green, so we're not going to die anytime soon. Thank God. Well, after that whirlwind of finding out a million different things and plans changing 741 times, thankfully we're now on the road, hopefully to a smooth ending. And the floor is also smooth, it's level, woohoo. So we're ready for the new floor, yay.
So the floor has been levelled. You can see where it stops in some points because the floor was uneven. However, now it should be a lot more even, which is great. The electrics are now finished. They're all ready to go. Remember, we're going to build a new mantle there. You can kind of see the line I've drawn on the wall, where it will be. We're going to build out a little bit with plasterboard so I can have kind of cubby holes. I've always wanted those in the mantle side to have like your salt and your pepper and then your oil and your vinegar and things like that. So that'll look hopefully really, really good. So everything's... When I said electrics are finished, I mean obviously like a first fix. So obviously the guy's going to come back and do it all properly. But we do now have 3 pendant lights, which will go above the island. And we have a chandelier over the dining table. Now, this might disappoint some of you, but the reality is we do not have a shit ton of money. So when we realised there was a real chimney breast here, I was very intrigued and we talked about opening it up. As you can see, it's just breeze blocks. It's all been blocked up. There was no hearth, no original tiles, unfortunately. Somebody has got rid of them over time. It's quite shallow. It's about 300 mils, so 30 centimetres. But yeah, it costs a spiralling. And the builder said it would be a big job to open that up. So yeah, we can't do it. So the plan is instead to have this as a flat wall, which is what we thought was there when we knocked through. So the fitter today, the builder, he's done a really good job. He has started to make this a flat wall and he's going to recreate the coving out of timber, because that's what the original coving is made out of. So we will have a flat wall to then have the centralised breakfast bar, which is going to be quite wide, one larder, and it'll be very symmetrical, very even. Hello. Nearly fell over.
When all these tiles are down.
Yeah.